And they are heavily linked with the move for Emi Martinez from Aston Villa. And is Antony about to get his wish and leave Old Trafford? Let's cross live to our reporter Daniel Khan, who can bring us right up to date. Daniel, we had the breaking news about Antony, but what can you tell us about the story?
Yeah, absolutely, Julia. Thank you very much. I mean, 3 years to the day, Antony signed for Manchester United for £86 million from Ajax. It seems he is now on his way out of Manchester United on a permanent basis. An agreement has been reached with Real Betis over the permanent sale of Antony, a deal worth just over £21 million. And Manchester United, as I understand it, also have a 50% net sell-on any future sales of Antony if he is ever to leave Real Betis one day. And we told you last week that there was a broad agreement around a fee between Manchester United and Betis, but at that moment it didn't go any further because there were complications around his wage and overcompensation as well, whether United would contribute to any of that. But as I understand it, again, United aren't compensating Antony in any way for this move to Real Betis. There's been a slight restructure to that agreement with Betis, and that is now in agreement between the two clubs. So Antony looks like he is on his way out, expecting him to travel to Spain for a medical, and as well as incomings, if there are any today, Julie, I think United's focus is a lot on outgoings, and Antony could just be the latest along the lines of the likes of Jadon Sancho, Tyrell Malacia. Still waiting official confirmation on Rasmus Hojlund as well, on his move to Napoli as well.
Yeah, and if there is to be an incoming today, it would be a big one. United search for a new goalkeeper. Are they actually going to make a move for Aston Villa's Emi Martinez? And are you confident they can get the deal done?
Well, I think Manchester United have identified that it looks like they need to reinforce the goalkeeping area. I was at their game on Sunday against Fulham, Julia, and against Burnley, I should say. And Ruben Amorim said himself that to be a Manchester United goalkeeper right now is incredibly difficult. You look at Emi Martinez and also senior year of playing professional football, being a number one in that sense. So very interesting, two very polarising, different options. Emi Martinez, though, is tested and proven. He's won the World Cup. He's also been crowned goalkeeper of the year twice on occasion. So very interesting to see what Manchester United do. But I think they need to address that area because clearly it has made them suffer so far this season, Julia. And also you have to consider Andre Onana will be gone for a considerable amount of time with AFCON coming in December as well.
Yeah, thanks very much, Daniel.
Talk about Manchester United. We spoke about it a bit earlier. We're talking about this game between Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. The goalkeeper, the Villa goalkeeper, Emiliano Martinez, not in the squad at all for this game. I think we can hear, can we, from Unai Emery. This is what he had to say before the game when he was asked the question why Martinez was not in the squad.
Bisotto. Marco Bisotto.
Where is Emi Martinez, though?
Marco Bisotto.
Will he be your future goalkeeper?
Marco Bisotto.
I've not seen that. So, two words, Mark. Marco Bisotto.
Marco Bisotto.
Where are we with Emiliano Martinez then? Because it looks pretty significant that he's not involved at all tonight.
Marco Bisotto. Marco Bisotto. Now you've had your questions. Thank you very much. Yeah.
He was nabbing me then. I was wondering what's happening here.
It amuses me when I see that kind of a situation. Juliet Farrington just trying to ask the questions that the Aston Villa fans want the answers to. This is a goalkeeper they've had a huge relationship with, who's been a big part of their success. He's had huge personal success as well in the game over the last few years. There's been all this speculation throughout the course of the summer. Is he going to Manchester United? Is he moving on? Is he going to be Villa's number one? And we're just trying to find out the answers for the fans. And we want to know what's going to happen. The fact that he's not involved with this Aston Villa side would suggest there is a possibility he could be heading to Old Trafford. We know that Manchester United are in the market for a goalkeeper. There's been a couple of names on their radar. What happens over the next 24 hours or so, we don't know. But I think it's very clear that Unai Emery has a new number one at Aston Villa and that there is a chance that Emi Martinez ends up at Old Trafford.
just on the goalkeeping situation at Manchester United, we are told that internal discussions at Manchester United over their next steps with regard to signing a goalkeeper are continuing. You mentioned the other option that they have. His name, Sancho Lamens, is from Royal Antwerp. Aston Villa, we think that they made an inquiry yesterday, but they haven't pursued it. And Emiliano Martinez, of course, is another player who United are interested in. We are told that both keepers are keen on a move to Old Trafford. Martinez has had other offers, but it's thought he is waiting on Manchester United. Now, one source has also told us that United have explored the conditions of a deal for Martinez while talks continue with Royal Antwerp over Lamens. So it's a case of trying to keep both pots boiling and then deciding which one they are going to go for, Manchester United, because Galatasaray also pushing for Sancho Lamens as well. And United, as they have been practicing throughout this transfer window, they do not want to get embroiled into a bidding war. Both potential deals are, however, thought to be complicated. And so, given the time left in the window, there is still a chance, Asmir, that United won't sign a keeper before the deadline. If they do, and you were holding the purse strings at Manchester United, you were in the recruitment team at Manchester United, who would you go for, Martinez or Lamens?
Yeah, I think you have to go for Emi Martinez. I think they've had, a few issues in trying to replace David De Gea for quite some time now. They've tried different goalkeepers, different situations, and really gone for goalkeepers who are improving in the Premier League. So I think if you get the chance to sign an Emi Martinez, who's Premier League proven, been here for many years, played so many games at a high level, done incredibly well for Argentina, I think it would be that statement signing in that position that they really need. And I think he's one that can be there for the next few years and hopefully provide some stability, because it hasn't quite worked out for the goalkeepers that have come over the last few years.
Yeah. Let's get to one of the stories that you have been following, Gianluca, and that is, of course, Rasmus Hojlund. You've been following him around very closely, haven't you, and his move to Napoli. Tell us where we are exactly as it stands right now with that deal.
Rasmus Hojlund is in Napoli now, so he had medicals this morning in Roma, because Napoli has always and usually his medicals players in Roma, and now the clubs and the agents of the player are finalizing all the terms of his contract, because there is an exit clause of, I think, 85 million euro too. So there are legal questions, legal issues to solve, but I think everything will be done in these next hours. Antonio Conte wanted him a lot. Antonio Conte wanted Hojlund after Lukaku was injured, and you know that Antonio Conte, after he won the title last year, now he has big power in Naples, and when Antonio Conte wants a player, the chairman Aurelio De Laurentiis try to satisfy him.
Gianluca, it's Mark in the studio with Darmesh. Ciao to you as well. Rasmus Hojlund is yet another player going from the Premier League to Napoli. What is it about these Premier League players that Antonio Conte loves so much?
But Antonio Conte loves Premier League players because he was in Premier League, so he knows that the intensity, of the players, the rhythm of the players of Premier League are perfect for his style. So McTominay was a perfect top player last year, and Kevin De Bruyne now is starting to adapt to Italian style. So I think that Antonio Conte knows that, and Napoli too, that after McTominay, every Premier League player is perfect for Napoli now.
Jadon Sancho is a player who still hasn't got a move, but there has been a lot of interest from Italy in this window. Is that one maybe that could still happen from the Premier League to Serie A tomorrow?
don't think so, but because he was not really convinced to come here. I don't know why, because Italy is fantastic. But Juventus at the beginning of the transfer market, they want him, but they had to sell players. Now they are selling Nico Gonzalez to Atletico Madrid, but they found the agreement for Zegrova, no, from Lille, that is coming to Juventus. So Juventus, no. AS Roma was the club that you know better than me. They tried to push. Gasperini wanted. They had 2 video call with Sancho and his agent. They had the agreement with Manchester United, but the player didn't open, no, as we say. In the 2 video call, he never saw the coach in his eyes. He only was like that during the call, so probably he didn't want to come.
Gianluca, before I let you go, we always like talking to you about how much money the Premier League have spent compared to Serie A. I know you enjoy this. It's nearly £3 billion. That's even more in euros that the Premier League have spent so far in this transfer window. What is the feeling in Italy about how much clubs in England can spend compared to Italy and the rest of Europe? And is it a surprise?
The feeling is that there is too much difference from me and you, because we only can get now players that are not so young, no? Like Modric, like Kevin De Bruyne, like Jamie Vardy, like Raul Albiol, like players like that. It's difficult for us to compete. For example, Leoni, no? Leoni, the younger defender that Liverpool bought from Parma. Here in Italy, AC Milan wanted him, Inter Milan wanted him, Juventus wanted him. Arrived Liverpool, 35 million. Okay, done. So you are too strong, and it's difficult for us to compete. I think the job will be very, very difficult in the next years and very long.
Kobbie Mainoo is on the Man United bench again for Burnley clash as one-away midfielder looks to leave despite Ruben Amorim urging him to stay and fight for his place. Kobbie Mainoo has been named on the bench again for Manchester United's game at home to Burnley. Mainoo, who was an unused substitute in United's first 2 games of the Premier League season, informed the club this week that he wants to leave on loan before the closure of the transfer window. However, United boss Ruben Amorim insisted that the midfielder should stay and fight for his place at Old Trafford. There is only one change to the United side that drew against Fulham, with Diogo Dalot replacing Patrick Dorgu. Speaking in his pre-match press conference on Friday, Amorim insisted that Mainoo will be staying. Amorim said, "Until it is official, I cannot say much. I want Kobbie Mainoo to stay. He needs to fight for his place. We need Kobbie." Kobbie Mainoo has been named on the bench again for Manchester United against Burnley. 20-year-old midfielder Mainoo is eager to play regularly ahead of next year's World Cup. "I understand that the players who aren't playing in this moment are disappointed. You have to fight during the week." Mainoo started in United's Carabao Cup defeat against Grimsby in midweek, as Amorim's side were eliminated on penalties by the League side. The 20-year-old was left out of the England squad that was named on Friday and is eager to play regularly given that the World Cup takes place next summer. Academy product Mainoo has made 73 senior appearances for United and has scored 7 goals. Mainoo won the FA Cup with United in 2024, scoring the decisive goal against Manchester City in the final. He also featured for England at Euro 2024 and started in the final defeat to Spain.